You're watching my favorite YouTube channel. Thumbs up this video if you want T'Challa to continue in the MCU. Thumbs down this video if you're the people who say, everyone who tweets recast T'Challa, they're just like the Snyder people. It equates a movie director wanting to do a movie. It's the same thing as black representation. Now, if you're one of those people, you can thumbs it down. Today, we're talking about what Kevin Feige said. It is one of the rare updates in the story of this character continuing in the MCU, him being the Black Panther. So Kevin Feige on not recasting T'Challa, it was much too soon. Exclusive. Man, the way that they word these articles. What? What? That's what? All right. Let's read the relevant parts if we scroll down to right about here. Speak it to Empire. The Marvel boss Kevin Feige opened up on the decision not to recast T'Challa. Okay. It just felt like it was much too soon. First of all, I want to know what the question was leading up to this. And I really wish, because he says, I just felt like it was much too soon to recast. It ends with a comma, meaning he had more to say, but that's the end of the quotation. I wish we did not have that short little bit before it goes to, he says, likening their approach to Marvel's long-standing ethos in the comics. Like, why do you constantly articles? I've had this problem. You step in to give your take or uh basically to give your take on this. Don't do that. With Spider-Man, Tom Holland said a quote something like, I don't want to play Spider-Man into my 30s. He said something like that, but it was on like a GQ article. And then he was asked about it in an interview during the No Way Home publicity run. He's like, bruh, they take my quotes, they misquote it. And I was sitting here like, I knew it. As I was reading that, I knew it because they stopped the words to put in their input. Okay. What he said, though, it was much too soon to recast. So those words actually did come out of his lips. But it wasn't too soon to use his death and likening in the trailer, was it? It was too soon to recast. But then, like, if we waited and delayed it, then we really couldn't milk on the death of Chadwick Boseman. I really went there, yeah. It was not too soon to recast. If it was too soon to recast, why wasn't it also too soon for this movie to come out? They never really moved that scheduled date. The only reason they had to move it was because it was when everything moved, and okay, everything went with it. But as of August 28th of 2020, the movie was still supposed to happen in May of 2022. It would never moved, and no one said anything about it moving. It moved with other films. It only ever it only other moved backwards when things like Doctor Strange and Thor and the other movies moved backwards too. It was too soon to recast. I call malarkey. But let's just say that is what we're gonna go with. What he says later makes me question if it was too soon to recast or not. Scrolling down, it says felt too soon to recast. And then he mentioned Stan Lee always said that Marvel represents the world outside your window. Now, before I finish reading this, guys, I've never heard this take before. This world outside your window. I never saw it interpreted this way. We had talked about how, as extraordinary and fantastical as our characters and stories are, there's a relatable and human element to everything we do. The world is still processing the loss of Chad, and Ryan poured that into the story. Wasn't too soon for that? Like, make up your mind. It was too soon, or it was like, are they both mutually exclusive? Probably not. You can like him and Ha and figure out a way to say, no, Chillmonger, shut up. You can both of these things can be true. It could be too soon, and also it needs to represent the world outside your window. But the world outside your window, the way I read it, is like in the 60s with X-Men or Magneto and freaking Xavier, that was representing the world outside our window. Even recently, when President Trump won that election, they made the mayor of New York, Wilson Fisk, world outside your window. You see how, like, when things happened in the world, it represents in the comic books, okay? Or in their storytelling, okay? The world outside your window applies there. Guys, an actor died. I'm sorry, that's not the world outside our window. If Chadwick Boseman dies, that means that the character's gotta die? Miss me. And if that's the reason why it's the world outside your window, then don't tell me that it was too soon to recast. Initially, when I saw it was too soon to recast, I'm like happy about it. I saw K-Dot talking about it too. I'll recommend that video at the end of this because he'll go longer than I'll go. I might go another 3 minutes. And K-Dot actually put clips of the first time Kevin Feige spoke on it and all that stuff. Lost my train of thought. Here I am trying to promote other YouTubers like SSJK.Sanctum, and it makes me forget what I was going to say about World Outside Your Window, and Stan Lee. Kevin Feige is being the Ike Perlmutter right now. We didn't have a Black Panther movie come out. Character was being withheld for whatever reasons Ike had. This is your reason, Kevin Feige. It was too soon to recast. Hey, World Outside Your Window. Bro, if it was too soon to recast, you wouldn't have ended the character. You'd have delayed the character. Let's watch this movie. I may be wrong, and the character may not be dead. He may actually just be a scroll that died. It may actually be like he's faking his death for all the people in. Like who the hell knows? We'll watch the movie first. He may not be completely 100% gone. But if it was too soon to recast, probably wouldn't have freaking killed the character. You'd have just let's find a reason why he wouldn't be in this film, and then we'll go on from later. We might exercise recasting. Maybe they think that a variant is their reason, is their way out. They'll get a new variant into the world. I don't know. It's kind of good news at the same time too. It's like not as strong as we will not recast because the actor did such a good job at acting that we're not going to recast. that was a stupid reason, a completely stupid reason, and you'd never say that for something like the Batman. And I compare this epic legendary dude here to Batman, and I'm not pointing at Chadwick Boseman's face. I'm pointing at the existing thing from the '60s all up until now. This guy here, this entity. I am Chillmonger. This was a whack article. There really wasn't much to it. Just felt like it was much too soon to recast, he says. Stan Lee always said the world represented Marvel outside your window. Talked about how as extraordinary and fantastical as our characters and stories are, there's a relatable and human element to everything we do. Not everything is world outside your window, though, okay? Sometimes the world, after 2001, they didn't give Spider-Man Arab villains. New York's been attacked. Let's figure it out. Sometimes the world outside your window doesn't make it into the pages or into the movies, and sometimes it does. I can definitely say Chadwick Boseman, as great as skilled as he is not the world outside of our window. He's not a Russian and Ukraine conflict. Oh, we got to depict that in the comic book pages, depicted in the movies. He is a guy, not the world outside my window.